it's Youth Sunday, and as always, I turn to Miss Wendy and I hear from her what she would like the Sunday school children to do, how they're going to participate, which songs they're going to sing, who is going to read, who is going to help with the prayers of the people, and so on. And I remember Miss Wendy telling me that Barbara's and Chris's class were going to sing There Was a Little Baby, but some things just kind of don't register right away. And then last week when I was working with Rhonda on the service bulletin, I went, wait a minute, There Was a Little Baby is a Christmas song. We don't sing Christmas songs before Advent. And so I called Miss Wendy, I said, maybe there's another song by that name. Miss Wendy said, no. She said, I told you that they were going to add a verse about how that little baby grew up to be a king. Yeah. And that's what this Sunday is about. That little special baby born in a manger grew up to be a king. Isn't that wonderful? What does a king look like? Yes?
A king is a man that has a crown on.
A king needs a crown. In Jesus' day, King Herod and maybe even Caesar wore a special crown. Sometimes it was like a laurel wreath. So he would have a crown on his head. What else does a king look like?
A king needs to be kind but fair.
Okay, we hope that kings are kind and fair. What else about a king, Karina?
That they wear special clothes.
They wear special clothes. In Jesus' day, a king would wear royal robes, maybe royal blue or royal purple. That's why when Justin was playing the part of Pilate, he was wearing a royal purple because, I think Pilate wanted to be a king or wanted to please his king or his emperor. What else about the king?
Kings make rules.
And they make rules. Kings make rules. Kings sit on the throne with a scepter, with a crown, and they make rules. Pilate, who we hear about in our gospel story today, was someone who knew about the rules that kings made. And the kings, King Herod or whoever Pilate lived in Pilate's days, would make rules that made them richer, made them more powerful, and they didn't so much care about the other people. So when Pilate asked Jesus if he was a king, did you hear what Jesus said? He was a different kind of king. He wasn't the kind of king who made rules that made people sad or made rules that were unkind to people. He wasn't the kind of king who only cared about himself. What kind of king was Jesus? Yes?
He was
Kind and thoughtful. Anything else about Jesus? What kind of king was he?
He was a very kind king.
He was. Yes?
He was the king that made sure that everyone did not felt good.
That's right. Jesus cared about how other people felt. As a matter of fact, most of Jesus' life, Jesus was paying attention to people around him. He wanted to know if they were sick. And if they were sick, what did Jesus do?
He made them better.
He made them better. He wanted to know if people were feeling sad. And if they were sad, what did Jesus do?
Help them.
Feel how?
So they could be happy.
So they'd be happy. Some people were not loved by community. People kept them on the outside for some reason. Maybe they didn't look like them. Maybe they didn't speak like them. Maybe they didn't belong. They weren't born there. And Jesus paid attention to those people. Jesus is a different kind of king. Jesus was a king who served other people. Jesus said, I did not come so that other people could serve me. I came to serve other people. That little bitty baby Jesus grew up to be the king that everyone wanted. But it was not easy because, some people were very, very mean to Jesus and angry with Jesus because of how he included everybody. He cared for everybody. Some people did not like it. So when Jesus stood in front of Pilate, did Jesus have on a nice shiny crown or a wreath, a laurel wreath? Did Jesus wear a crown like that? What kind of crown did Jesus wear?
A crown of thorns.
A crown of thorns. Jesus did not have on a royal robe with beautiful jewels. Jesus' clothes were all messy and tattered and torn because he had been dragged through the night. He was tired. He was hungry. But he stood there and he was our king. Jesus is our king because Jesus showed us what it was like to be a good king and what it is to be a good follower of a good king. If we want to follow Jesus, then we need to be servants as well. We need to take care of each other in school, on the playground, at work, in our families. We take care of each other. No matter what. If someone is sad, we work to make them happy. If someone is feeling sick, we do whatever we can to make them feel better. We are trying to be like Jesus, who is the best king ever. And so, even though we are not at Christmas time, we can still think about that little bitty baby who grew up to be a king who served others, and we can work on growing up to be like our king, someone who takes care of each other. Amen? Amen.